What's up, y'all? It's your girl Jay Renee with Prison Ride Radio. I hope that you're doing well. This evening, we have an author on the phone by the name of Nathaniel Grant, and he makes children's books. So we're gonna learn more about him, about his book, where to find them. All right, brother. Thanks for pulling up on us. How you doing?
All right, hanging in there.
That's what's up. I want to give you an opportunity for you to tell the people a little bit about yourself and where you from.
Well, I'm from Stamford, Connecticut, born and raised in a place called the Village off of Essex 6, off of I-95, and I was raised in the Village. I moved to South Norwalk, Connecticut at around the age of 11, and I stayed there till I was around maybe 16, 17, I believe, and I moved to New York, and I have been in New York ever since then.
Okay. So, what got you into writing, and how long have you been doing so?
Well, me, I've been writing for many of years. To be honest, I can't even really remember when I actually started writing, but it was around, I would say, 16, 17. I was into poetry, and then I went into writing for a crew called the Master Rappers, and I was writing rap songs for them in Stamford, Connecticut. And I just kept going and I kept writing and I got into it deeply. And I just, I don't know, it just took me to a point where I felt, let me start writing books. And I guess that's where I really started.
Okay. So, how many books have you written to date?
Uh, as of today, I would say I have Mel the Mole out, Mel's Great Adventure, A Journey to Find Anna, which is on Amazon right now. I also wrote Mel's Great Adventure, Mel's First Day at School. I also wrote Mel Goes to New York, Mel's Happy Birthday, Mel's Christmas Day, Mel's Night Out. And I also wrote a few books called The Colorful Kids.
Okay.
And that I was explaining to you before. Uh, my characters, one is Randy Red. She's Irish. She's into heavy metal, and she likes to ride a dirt bike. She's from New York. My other character is Barry Blue from England. He's a punk rocker. He loves skateboarding. Another character is Yin Yellow from Japan. She likes to play the violin. Very smart, always into spelling bees. Gary Green is from Mexico. Loves cooking. He plays soccer. Gail Gold is from France. She's very rich and she's a cheerleader, very preppy. And Bubba Brown from California. He likes basketball, he's very good, and he's into hip hop. So what I did with that, I just came together with a bunch of kids from different backgrounds with different values, and they come together. The subjects, as I said before, I'm going to keep that a secret, but it's going to be basically things that parents, it's going to make it easier for parents to talk to their kids about certain subjects. I'm going down that avenue.
Okay.
I also am working on a book called Nana and Max, which is about my mother. She's from Port Chester, Westchester County. Her name is Georgiana Grant, and her dog Max. He just passed away, but my mother came to me after she'd seen the first book that I put out and seen how serious I was about writing books, and she said, "Why don't you write a book about me and Max? The stories I could tell you, the things we went through." So what I did was I told her to send her grandson a picture of her, and I asked him to turn her into a cartoon, and I loved it so much. I decided right then and there, I said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make a book and publish it and it's going to be called Nana and Max.
Nice.
And I also wrote a book that has to do with the hip hop industry. And it's going to teach people the intricacies of rapping. Not only that, I'm going to teach people how to understand the fine print of a contract
Nice.
and show them the ins and outs of the music industry. Because I've been there when it first started, and I was with Africa Bambaataa and Kool Herc when it's all started. So I know what I'm doing with that, on that subject, rather.
Right, for sure. You know, you've written over 10. That is definitely a major accomplishment. Congratulations on that. And you know, being a
Thank you.
for sure, being a published author is another level to it. The fact that you are doing things from people is a testament to your perseverance and dedication. So definitely congrats on all of that. Let people know where they can find your books.
They can find my book on Amazon. All you have to do is go on Amazon and you put in Mel's Great Adventure, and it'll take you to my book, and you'll see a picture of a mole with glasses on. He's wearing a hat backwards with a map in his hand, and that'll show you that you're at the right book. Also, you can go on Instagram and put in Mel's Great Adventure, and there's a link on the Instagram that'll take you straight to the book.
Awesome.
And I'm also on TikTok, but the link is not on TikTok. I just opened up the TikTok, so they're telling me that I need 1,000 followers in order to put the link on here. So I'm telling everyone to tell their friends to tell their friends to pass the word on that Mel's Great Adventure is a very, very, very good book. And all of the kids so far that have gotten my book, their parents are telling me that the kids are loving it.
Nice.
So I know that it's going to go somewhere.
Okay. So I'm gonna make sure that I include the link so people can find it at their fingertips. Also, y'all will be able to find it at the places that he let us know. So, bro, the only obvious question, I know that you've done a lot and I'm sure that you still are at it. What are you currently working on now, and you know what's coming in the future? I know you spoke on the hip hop book. We definitely looking forward to that. But you know what else you
Well, I'm going to do a novel, but I actually haven't really I don't really have the name to it right now, but I already started it. It's about a girl that has photographic memory. She was adopted because her mother is very, very rich and she didn't have the time to spend with her daughter, so she gave up for adoption. But little do her daughter know that she is actually paying everything that her daughter needs. All the money is coming from her.
okay?
Her daughter meets another little girl that was adopted, and she was somewhat abused a little bit. And they also find a dog, the little girl, and looked at the dog as she looked at herself. She needed someone, and she talked them into letting them have the dog. So to make a long story short, she, like I said, she has a photographic memory. She ends up getting on a bus. She likes to go to Nassau. She likes to go down there to watch the rockets go up in the air and stuff out in the air, Florida. And when she got on the bus got into an accident. The lady that was on the bus had a book. She ended up getting the book. She ended up finding out the book is a book, a manual to a time machine. And like I said, she has a photographic memory. So when she did that, that showed her how to work the machine. So her and the little girl and the dog end up going into Nassau. They end up finding the room with the machine. They end up using the machine. The machine takes them, and it takes them to another time and another dimension. And She ended up getting to a place where this other little girl her parents died, and she was the head of the tribe now, but she didn't know what she was doing, and she guides her through it.
Oh,
And it's going to be a part 2 and part 3 to it and all that. So
okay.
I'm working on it. I got a lot of it written already, though.
Okay, for sure. We looking forward to seeing that, brother. Um, I want to give you an opportunity to address the listeners. You can talk about something you feel that's important. You could drop some gems, some shout outs, whatever you like. So the floor is yours.
Yeah, well, I like to read something that my son had said about the book Mel the Mole, to give a person, give you all you viewers out there a general aspect of where I'm going with Mel the Mole. And it says about the author, Nathaniel Grant weaves a heartfelt journey of courage, love, and resilience in Nana's Map to Mole, inspired by his own experience and deep family roots. This story honors a powerful bond between grandparents and grandchildren with a rich imagination and a tender touch. Nathaniel brings to life a brave little mole whose heart leads him through unknown paths, proving that love always finds its way home. That touches my heart completely. And it does show that a lot of us need to make that bond with our family. And that's one of the most important things to me. What the truth is, the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing is because I want to make sure when I do finally leave this world, I want to make sure that my grandchildren and my children are set. So I'm doing everything in my power, and I'm going seriously deep. And that's for everybody that's out there. If you put that work in, and sometimes a saying I learned is sometimes you have to suffer to live. Meaning sometimes you have to give up the things that you think is important to you and do other things in order to make it to where you need to be. Never, ever, ever forget that. Life puts you on a journey for a reason, like it put me on. You got to figure out what is that reason, and then you got to figure out where is your talent at. And you have to take advantage of that. And you have to let people know that you're disciplined and you're setting a goal and you're not letting nothing get in the way of what you need to do to accomplish what you need to accomplish. To all my brothers and sisters out there, you're kings and queens. And like my grandmother always used to tell me, play your position. Know that and never let no one tell you nothing different. Reach for the stars. And when you get to the stars, reach even higher.